youngsters out in our audience and who are there 13, 12, 13, 14, and they like this kind of action, and they say, gee whiz, wouldn't it be nice if I could go racing? And this is where your big races come from. The professionals, they all started in the small town track like this, the 30 mile. And I would imagine that although I don't think any of our drivers here have aspirations of going to Daytona, there's probably some that could, you know, with a little more money behind them.
Well, Bob, in fact, most of us have aspirations, but as spectators to go to Daytona.
Yeah. Quite a few members of this club do, in fact, end up in Daytona for the winter.
I had the pleasure of being there once myself. It's quite a feat to go down and watch the NASCAR.
And what a thrill.
It is.
Fastest growing sport in North America. They jam them in. They sell out 6 months before the races even start.
Well, I think they draw some of the largest crowds to any spectator event in the country, in North America, some of the races.
Well, let's see what happens here as they regroup for the final 13 laps, or the final 12 laps anyway. Stanley Karen managing to hang on now. This, if I sound surprised, forgive me, because I've watched Stanley so often. He has something happens to him every time. He blows a tire, he loses shape going around the corner, but there he is, halfway through the race. He's got the lead, but boy, I'll tell you what, it's sure tightened up here. With Scott Williams right on his tail, and then Alex Bridgecity in third place. Here comes Garth Hazelhurst in fourth. The flag goes down, they're off again.
There we go. When I watch him race, he reminds me of the song by Jerry Reed, "When you're hot, you're hot."
Exactly.
When he's hot, he's untouchable. He's hot.
He was all smiles last night because he thought he was doing great. Here he comes. Managing to hold on. Garth, it's about a 7-car race there. I'm telling you, this is exciting racing, ladies and gentlemen.
They bunch as they head through corners.
Now look at Garth Hazelhurst move right into second place, but that car just shot ahead. Unbelievable speed on the backstretch.
That's right. And look at
here he comes.
What a nice move on that.
Wow, you want to see a race? You watch Garth Hazelhurst and Stan Cairns. This is where Stan is going to run into problems, if anywhere, because now he's got to chase Garth Hazelhurst. He seemed to be losing a little bit of jam there, does he not?
It looks to me like Stan has come off it just a touch.
Now Garth Hazelhurst takes a commanding lead here. And all of a sudden, Stanley Karen is holding back the rest of the traffic.
On a hot day like this, it could be oil pressure or water temperature getting up, and these fellows will back off just a touch to save the...
Scott Williams now moves into second place, and Alex Bridgecity into third, as Stan Cairns all of a sudden has dropped back into fourth. I think he's having some problems out there. He's slowed right down.
Yeah, Jim Gaunt stirring up the dust here. Number one, as he went low on that inside groove.
Take a look at this car, number 18, when it goes by. I think some of his metal is dragging on the ground on the passenger side. Yep, I think he's got some problem with his metal hanging on the ground. I think he might have broken a spring or something on one side of that machine.
The handling definitely seems to be going away.
There's your leader on the screen, Garth Hazelhurst in his brand new Daytona. Oh, the car had just gone off the track, and I believe was Stanley Karen.
I've got the caution, Bob. Definitely problems.
Yeah, Stan Karen has run into some big problems here, and now he's off the track. And the days, maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
We spoke too soon.
Things were going too well. Yeah. Things were going too well for Stanley Karen, and all of a sudden, Garth Hazelhurst made the big charge coming around the flags, rather the backstretch, and he took over, and now we have a stoppage at lap number 16 with Garth Hazelhurst leading, Scott Williams in second place, Alex Bridgecity in third place, Barry Powers of Regina, number 43, in fifth place, Jim Gaunt in sixth, I believe, or fifth place at least, behind Barry Powers.
Well, there goes Garth's lead that he worked so hard to build up.
Yeah.
Then the caution flag.
Well, I believe now that Rick Elliott will probably, there's a man I have a lot of respect for too, Rick Elliott.
Very difficult job.
And his assistant, of course, Bryce Young, both very capable, very able flagmen. And we're very fortunate in Saskatoon to have two of the best, probably, in Western Canada. Three of the best, if you want to count Charlie Curtin, who has decided to take up street stock racing. Okay, they're going to give him the quick go-round as we look at Garth Hazelhurst and number 96, Scott Williams. And, of course, Alex Bridgecity, Barry Powers, Jim Gaunt, Jerry Horsley, I believe, number 7. They'll be getting the green flag as they come around the next time, and we are going into lap number 17 in a 25-lap super stock feature at Bridgecity Speedway. Of course, coming up next, the big race of the day, the final race. race of the day, the 25-lap street stock. There's the green flag in there. Right off the bat, there's a challenge going on for first place as both 9601 keeping right on the tail of Garth Hazelhurst. Can he regain the lead he had? He had about a 6 or 7 car lead on his competition before St. Karen left the race.
Of course, these super stock drivers, Bob, as they go around trying to turn this oval into a complete circle as they come wide on the straightaways and dive into the corners.
Yeah. There's a 5-car jam up if I ever saw one. Coming down the race stretch into number 1, up into corner number 2, and then down the back straight, hitting speeds of about 85 to 90 miles an hour. And I'll tell you, it's hard to believe these cars are actually doing that speed unless you're standing right out here watching it.
Right.
Number 22, still in first place. Garth Hazelhurst looking probably, I believe, for the first feature victory of the year. Would it not be? I think this would be his first feature victory of the year.
Win for Garth if he can hang on.
Now we're watching.
Dodge Daytona's performing. It looks like he's got a good grip on it.
Oh, he's got her just flying out there. Look at the lead he's developing here.
The battle between Scott Williams in 96 and Alan Blashenko in car 01 for that second spot.
Hey, let's take a look down there at number 4, Jimmy Gaunt. He's not finished yet, and he's going to try to take over. But the leader right now is number 22, Garth Hazelhurst. This man is a giant. I would venture to guess that Garth Hazelhurst probably weighs about 350 pounds, and you couldn't meet a nicer fella anywhere. He's a pussycat, teddy bear, but a wildcat when he gets behind the wheel. There he goes, even getting 4. Now, there's Jim Gaunt, like we said.
Jim Gaunt finally shook himself loose, and he'll set his sights on that number 22.
And if anybody can catch Garth Hazelhurst, it'll be Jim Gaunt. Keep an eye on Jim Gaunt as he comes around the back. There you see him in your screen now, right behind Garth Hazelhurst. Excitement abounds here as we get into the final 2 laps. Question, can Jim Gaunt catch Garth Hazelhurst for the final 2 laps? Right now it looks like not, but look how he closes in on the corners.
He dives into the corners quite hard, goes in quite deep.
1 more lap to go, and can Jim Gaunt catch Garth Hazelhurst? Let's see now.
2 very fine drivers now down the back straightaway looking for that checkered flag.
He came out of nowhere from the back of the pack, and there's Jim trying to come around on the outside.
We're going to have here, Bob.
Coming into the final stretch now.
Look at this.
Garth Hazelhurst hanging on for the win. Jim Gaunt, and number 96 takes 3rd place. Number 96, Scott Williams.
Oh boy,
What a race.
Oh,
what a race.
Nice to see Garth Hazelhurst hang on and pick up the checkered flag.
Great. A great guy. Nice to see him when, unfortunately for Stan Karen, he cooked himself quite badly there, and he never did get back in the race.
I don't know about you, Bob, but I think I might change my phone number because when he hears us talking like this, he may just come looking for us.
Sorry about that, Stan. I really didn't mean to jinx you. Certainly did not. Hicks Picks would never have predicted something like that. And there's Scott, Garth Hazelhurst, getting his deserved win. Feature racer today, and going to get his picture taken there. You see the man with his hand on now, just took it off. That's Warren Goulding. He's the Rambler, and he's taking a pictures there. He does all the pictures, all the programs out here at Bridgecity Speedway, and a great job he does, too.
Yes, he sure does. A nice man, and what a job he does for us here.
Now, we're about to go into the street stock feature, but before that, we had a talk earlier today with the president of the Saskatoon Stock Car Club, Archie Hutchings, and we'll let you see that interview right now. President of the Saskatoon Stock Car Club is Archie Hutchings, who this is your first year, Archie, in presidential work here, and you used to race. Now, of course, you've taken over the administrative things here at Bridgecity Speedway, and you've got a big show here this weekend. First of all, we should congratulate you on the fine turnout here, not just what's happening on the racetrack, but you've been getting good crowds out here this year, too. And maybe you could tell us a bit, what exactly did you do from, say, last year to improve things so much around here at Bridgecity Speedway?
I don't know. We started advertising on TV, and we have gone to every other week of racing Saturday nights. And I think we're starting to people a little bit for the good show we put on. And I think that is really what is helping, as long as with the advertising.
The big two-day meet here, has it been any kind of an organizational headache for you?
No, everybody has been helping out real good, and you know, everything has been going smooth. I think I'm quite happy with the weekend we've had.
What changes have you made to the track itself over the past year or two to improve it safety-wise and to make it better for the racing all around?
Well, we've put up the guardrail, which was done last year. That was for insurance reasons. This past week, we put up some more lights, changed a few lights around to give it better lighting for the night racing.
What about the racers themselves? The competition seems to be getting better and better here every year. You've got one heck of a good season going, haven't you?
I'll tell you, the guys are, I don't know, they're definitely doing their homework, and, you know, the more experience they get, the better they set their cars up, and they just get better, and I'll tell you, it's getting better and better every year.
What about the first part of the feature race here for the street stocks? I think you had something like almost 30 cars going here. Did that create any kind of problems for your people?
Yeah, the more cars you have, of course, it makes it a little more difficult for the lap counters, but the girls informed me that they can handle up to 50, so I wish we would have had more cars just to, you know, make the girls do their work.
Okay, as far as the racing fans go, have you heard it from them what they prefer to see the most as far as, well, there's three classes, the Thunders, the Streets, and the Supers?
You get mixed crowds. Like, I've watched after a night of racing, when the Supers are done, you get some people leave. When the Thunders are done, you get some people leave. And when the Streets are done, you get some people leave. Like, each class has its own group.
Certainly had the weather for this. Is this what you call ideal weather for racing?
Yeah, this is just about as good as you can get it. You know, the track is hot, the cars stick better, and I think we've noticed that with the quicker time trials and the way the cars are going. And they have a little more problem keeping their engines cool, but this would almost be perfect conditions.
Well, we're going to let you go back to work and keep cool with whatever it is that you do. Congratulations on a super invitational meet here at Bridgecity Speedway, Archie, and best to you in the future. This is Archie Hutchings, the president of the Saskatoon Stock Car Club.